beautiful day in the Bay Area. We're going to head about 36 miles south. We wind up on the farm. Today's Pac-12 Women's Basketball Showdown brought to you by Clean Simple Eats. Today, number 3, Stanford Cardinal host the Arizona State Sun Devils. Good news. Last year's Defensive Player of the Year, Cameron Brink, back in the starting lineup for Stanford, and they're going to need her as they make a push for their 27th Pac-12 title. It is tight at the top. And we're happy to have you with us, everyone. Tracy Warren along with Angela Taylor. And Angela, with Stanford's loss to Arizona on Friday, today they control their own destiny in the Pac.
Yeah, Tracy, Stanford continues to control their own destiny. Everything that they want stands before them. They have a chance at the regular season Pac-12 title as well as the #1 seed in the tournament. But the atmosphere here on the farm is all about how do we respond against that adversity that we had at Friday against Arizona in that ball game. But this Arizona State squad, they're going to play hard for 40 minutes. It's not going to be easy for the Stanford Cardinal today. And
for the Cardinal, they've got that connection of Kiki and Cam in the middle to help win the day.
The Twin Towers is led by forward Kiki Iriafen, who's one of the most improved players in the country this year. Kiki's a versatile big who has the ability to sprint the floor, get low block position, and once she's on that low block one-on-one, she's impossible to guard. In the high post, she does a nice job passing to open cutters, and she also has the ability to stretch the defense, hitting that elbow jumper, or she has the ability to space the floor out to 3, shooting 40% from the three-point line in Pac-12 play. Defensively, she's also another force with her partner, Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink is back today. I know that is good news for fans of the Stanford Cardinal. Again, averaging 18 points a game, 11 rebounds, only player in the country averaging 17, 11, and 3 blocks on the season.
Now, for the Sun Devils, they've got a lot of athletes, and they have in their mind, let's play spoiler today.
One of the things this Arizona State team has been about all season long is consistency and making sure that they play to their identity. Their identity is all about defense. They want to be disruptive defensively, getting out in passing lanes, and being the first ones to those 50-50 balls, and they want to do that consistently. Offensively, they have to be able to execute their half-court offense with a lot of efficiency today against the Stanford Cardinal.
It is senior day on the farm. We are going to salute Hannah Jump, and we're going to salute Cameron Brink. We've got a great game today. Arizona State, Stanford, starting lineups and tips when we come back to PAL's 7th Pac-12 regular season title. But in order to do it, they have to get through Arizona State. And here's today's starting lineups as we are on the farm. For the Sun Devils, they have an all-youth movement except for one veteran, Simmons, Brown, Crisp, Thompson, and Miller. They are fantastic athletes who like to push the ball and force turnovers. And they are coached by second-year Natasha Adair, who has done a fantastic job with a lot of enthusiasm. Said, we love to get people turning the ball over, and we love to push tempo. You see her with second season with Arizona State. For the Stanford Cardinal, they had to shake things a little bit up in their starting lineup. Hannah Jump, Elena Boscana, Janiyah Harriel, Kiki Iriafen, and Cameron Brink, and everybody in the Stanford Cardinal family breathing a collective sigh of relief that Brink is back from a bout with the flu and back in the starting lineup. The all-time winningest coach in men or women's basketball, Tara Vanderveer, at the helm of the Stanford Cardinal. Most wins in college history, 5-time National Coach of the Year. You know, she said to her team coming out of that loss to Arizona, I've lost, about 270 games, and we'll get over it. But we got to focus on the finish. The finish right now is getting through Arizona State to the Pac-12 title.
Yeah, one of the things that Stanford wants to do is get back to their identity. They turned the ball over quite a bit in that fourth quarter. They want to get back to that offensive execution that Stanford is known for.
It was about a month ago, Arizona State and Stanford squared off, and Arizona State had their hands full.
Yeah, the post play, the points in the paint for the Stanford Cardinal, led by Cameron Brink and Kiki Iriafen. 47 points between the two of them. They were getting out in transition, running the floor. Defensively, they were cutting off all driving lanes and blocking shots. But Arizona State, their guard play was actually pretty stellar in that game. Jalen Brown had 17, Trayana Crisp had 16. So expect them to try to put the ball on the floor and attack the paint as much as they can.
Cardinal have won 11 straight. The last Arizona State win, January 7th, 2018. But look, Arizona looked at those stats and said, hey, we know we haven't won at Maples for 20-some years. Why not come in here and take it to them? And Tara Vanderveer said, you know what? They wanted it more. We've got to limit turnovers if we're going to be successful against the Sun Devils.
That's why you play the games. On any given Sunday, anything can happen. And so for the Stanford Cardinal, they have to come out ready to go as soon as the tip goes up, pounding the paint and playing at a high level. In Arizona State, anything can happen. So continue to play to your identity, and we'll see what can happen.
Journey Thompson and Cameron Brink got to jump it up, and Stanford will win the tip and get right into their offense. Had a jump on senior day, and it's knocked out of bounds. And here's where we look for tempo push for the Sun Devils.
And they would prefer not to be in their half-court offense. When they do get in their half-court set, make sure they're putting the ball on the floor, attacking, curling off the screens, a lot of ball and body movement.
Coming off the loss to Cal on Friday, 67-55. Brown had 18 in that game as a leading scorer for the Sun Devils. And the Sun Devils get the first 2 points of the game. That's Mallory Miller.
You see why they inserted Mallory Miller into the starting lineup, not only to contend with Stanford's Twin Towers, but Miller brings such a nice offensive threat as well on the floor.
They go into Brink. Brink, they try to take baseline from her. No foul called. Here comes the Sun Devils. They love to push tempo. Miller thought about it. Into Thompson all alone.
Pace and tempo is what Arizona State is looking for. Nice double team on the opposite end when Brink had the ball in the low block, and then Arizona State got out in transition, which is where they're most lethal.
The All-American Brink will face up. One and done. Rebounding key. Coach Adair said, we didn't do it well against Cal. We've got to do it well against Stanford.
And Stanford was plus 16 in the rebounding battle in the first matchup this season. So Arizona State needs to make sure they box out and then offensively crash the boards and try to get second chance opportunities.
Hannah Jump wants to run. She's pushing her teammates to go. Irioffen kicks back out to Brink, back into Irioffen, and why not?
Nice in-out game by Irioffen and Brink. Irioffen did a great job of running the floor and getting deep post position. She didn't have it, so she took the ball, kicked it back out, and nice post play by Brink and getting the ball again.
Arizona State made several runs at Cal on Friday, and you thought for sure they had the game in control. Crisp from downtown.
Nice job by Chris. We're reading the defense. Hannah Jump went behind the screen, and that created a little bit of space for Chris to get her pull-up jumper off. Stanford does a great job. Both post players are running the floor. Irioffen gets deep post position. They doubled her quickly. She kicked it out to Brink, and that is what they have. Brink, her ability to shoot from the three-point line, Arizona State has to honor that, and that's going to leave Irioffen one-on-one and low block.
Jump.
Stanford is so much better in their offense efficiency when Hannah Jump gets open looks and is able to hit those open looks. The floor spacing and her gravity makes a huge difference.
Miller was whistled for her first personal foul for Arizona State. She sets the screen now for Brown. Good defense inside by the Cardinal. Brink with her first block.
If you're Journey Thompson, it looked like you had a clean lane to the rim, and Brink closed that down in a couple of steps. Just see, she's so mobile as Cameron Brink. When you think you have an easy layup, that may not be the case.
Number one in the Pac-12 with blocks, 3.6 a game. She's already got one. That ball's going to go Stanford way. What a difference maker, Cameron Brink. When you talk to the team at practice yesterday, everybody is saying, gosh, with Cam out against Arizona, it made a huge difference. Not only offensively, but they talked about her defensive game.
Well, Cameron Brink is a fierce competitor, and you can feel it when she's on the floor, both offensively and defensively. And just look at that touch pass.
Irioffen is fouled, and she'll go to the line.
A beautiful touch pass by Cameron Brink right there to Denial Harrell. And then they're going to attack the boards, try to get those offensive rebounds, and get Arizona State into foul trouble.
Already foul trouble for Miller. That's her second. This is a thin team in Arizona State. They've been plagued by injuries all season long as Irioffen gets the first of two.
The name of the game for Stanford today is pound the ball in the paint. That is going to open up a lot of passing lanes and open three-point shots for their teammates.
Sousa about to check in for Arizona State. Miller.
Beautiful turnaround by Miller, playing with a lot of confidence. The coaching staff says Miller is fearless, and that showed up on that play. She caught the ball in a low block and immediately turned in face. Arizona State's going to have to box out and limit Stanford's second chance opportunities.
Boscana has her hands full, but a reach-in foul is going to be called.
When Arizona State, they want to be able to get deflections. They want to be aggressive defensively, particularly on the point of attack. But I would love for Brown not to be too aggressive. You don't want to get fouls that far out.
Already the third team foul for Arizona State as Brown gets whistled. Sousa checks in for the Sun Devils. Watch that rotation for Arizona State.
Good on-ball defense by Simmons.
Boscana tried the kick out. Sousa looking to run.
Great defensive possession by Arizona State. That on-ball pressure created the turnover.
There's Crisp.
Crisp has been playing very well in the second half of Pac-12 conference play. Once she turns the corner off the dribble, she has a nice mid-range pull-up game.
She had just 5 points against Cal. We kept waiting for her to get hot. She didn't. She's got 4 already here against Stanford.
And just watch Chris as she comes off the dribble one-on-one against Harriel. Harriel backs off on that little hesitation and she creates space for herself. Cal did a really good job on ball and did not give Crisp a lot of open opportunities. Stanford's going to have to be able to defend, create pressure on the ball, but make sure that they cut off the driving lanes.
Brooke Dimitri checks in for the Stanford Cardinal. She started the other day, had a nice game in the loss to Arizona with 15 points.
Tar going to a bench early. Courtney Ogden, the freshman, coming in early as well.
When you face Brink, you just got to kick it back out, don't you?
You definitely start to second guess yourself. Nice pass.
Sousa had a good look. Weak side rebound, Cardinal.
Great look for Sousa, but Brink, the threat of Cameron Brink coming over and blocking shots, rushed that shot by Sousa.
Brink wants it, and she's got one-on-one, and now they double team her. Ball kicks out of bounds. It's going to go to Arizona State. This is the turnover problem that the Sun Devils create.
Yeah, Stanford already has 4 turnovers early on in the first quarter, and it's because Arizona State's been disrupted. They're getting out in passing lanes. Handsy, Cameron Brink was one-on-one on the low block, but a quick double came over. She brought the ball down, and that allowed the Arizona State guards to get in on the play.
And a pushing foul away from the ball. Courtney Ogden will be whistled for her first personal foul. And that was off-ball action as the physicality continues. Stanford had 18 turnovers against Arizona, and it's something, as soon as Tara came over here to talk with us, she said, limit turnovers.
Stanford is a strong offensive team, particularly in the half court, but if they're turning the ball over, particularly unforced turnovers, that doesn't allow them to get into the offensive system, and Arizona State already has done a nice job disrupting Stanford's offense.
Dimitri. Going the Sun Devils' way. Well, it is 70-degree temperatures on senior day at the much offensive push from Brooke Dimitri.
Brooke Dimitri had a great game coming off the bench, or starting against Arizona on Friday. Stanford has a lot of quality depth, which is one of the reasons that they have been so successful over the years. And Brooke Dimitri was ready for the moment. She came in and made a lot of big plays, a lot of key hustle plays. And that is actually what we're seeing from this Arizona State ball club early on in the first quarter, is they just simply are out hustling Stanford Cardinal right now. They're getting out in passing lanes. They're boxing out, they're getting out in transition, and getting some easy paint touches for layups.
No points for Cameron Brink as Dimitri back on the bench. We're going to watch the minutes for Brink. Out with the flu, back in the starting lineup for the Cardinal. But again, scoreless so far. And we saw Arizona State do this against Cal early on. They controlled tempo and had Cal on their heels.
Arizona State's success is predicated on the defensive end. You know, on the top of the scouting report was making sure that Cameron Brink and Kiki Uriafen were not going to get easy paint touches.
Ball out of bounds off the Sun Devils, and they are sending all 5 to rebound because they know they don't have the height advantage, so they're really doing the hustle to get that job, but ball out of bounds as they try to get the save.
Extra possessions will be key for Arizona State.
Interesting matchup. Sosa on Brink, which is about a 6-inch differential.
Sosa's basketball IQ is pretty high, so expect her to understand how to play Brink, even with a size differential.
Plenty of room from downtown, but the Cardinal can't get it.
It's a nice box out by Sosa. Journey Thompson actually did not box out Kiki Iriafen on that, allowing Iriafen to hustle for that opportunity for offensive rebound. We need all 5 players on Arizona State to box out.
You know, Tara Vanderveer was telling us we've always got that target on our back. So Arizona came in and they were amped, especially in that 4th quarter push. It was a physical ball game. And right now you see Sun Devils have kind of turned it up a notch. Jump. Iriafen.
Nice offensive rebound by Kiki Iriafen. Such a quick leaper off the floor. When she gets that low block position,
Brown trying to find some room underneath Brink, but a reach and foul.
Well, Tracy, and it seems just like the energy right now, Stanford's playing a little bit apprehensive, knowing that they just lost that game and there's a lot on the line. It feels like they haven't got into their flow offensively or defensively yet. Look for them to lean on their inside game with Iriafen a little bit more.
Foul is on Hannah Jump, her first personal foul, as Brown will go to the free throw line.
Arizona State is one of those teams that gets to the free throw line quite often. One of the top teams getting to the free throw line in the Pac-12 conference because they have 4 players who have the ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the rim.
Brown is 14th in the Pac-12 in free throw shooting percentage. She got 1 of 2 full court pressure.
Again, disrupts the Stanford offense. They don't want to allow Stanford to get comfortable in their half-court offense.
A lot of balls out of bounds. You got to be on your toes out here. A lot of balls out of bounds, and the hustle factor really kicked up here at the farm.
Keep your head on a swivel. I'll tell you what, I wonder how much of an impact not having Topolo out there is, being able to get the Stanford Cardinal team into their half-court sets. We'll have to watch that to see if they're able to execute successfully offensively.
Dimitri. Weak side rebound, Arizona State. They want to run. They've got a runner wide open. Could not sing it, but again, on the line.
Nice job getting out in transition for Arizona State. Stanford did not stop ball, and Chris was wide open for a 3. Stanford needs to do a much better job of getting back in transition and matching up with their player.
More full court pressure by the Sun Devils. Knocked out of bounds. Natasha Adair said, look, I am so amped the entire game. My team looks at me like, what is wrong with you? And she said, nothing is wrong with me. I just bring the energy, I stir them up, and you can see it really is infectious here as they are playing at upper level echelon.
Coach Adair's energy is contagious, and they're missing that. Ty Skinner, one of their players who's out for the season, is the energy bus that she likes to call her. So it has to come from somewhere, and right now it's having to come from the coaching staff.
Well, they want to walk, didn't get it. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Iriafen, yes!
Kiki Iriafen continues to be a force for Stanford. Arizona State did a nice job on ball defense. This is great defense by Chris. Could have been called a foul, but it wasn't. Really disruptive on ball. And Iriafen in the high post. Her face-up game has been much improved. She has a quick first step, and once she gets back past the defender, has the ability to finish with contact. Really impressive watching her play.
The sophomore Journey Thompson picks up her first personal foul for Arizona State as Iriafen goes to the line. Completes the three-point play. Iriafen 8 points so far as we've got a tie ball game at 11. Brown has a block. Boscana coming with the defense.
Stanford's Twin Towers are complemented by a lot of length on the perimeter. Boscana with a nice closeout on the shooter.
You've got to get that shot off quick. Crisp knows it. She's looking for her shot more this game than she was against Cal.
And that'll make shooters think twice when they're taking those jumpers.
There is Crisp.
There's Crisp playing with a lot of confidence right now. You can just look in her eyes. She played well in that first matchup against Stanford and is getting to her spots again in this game.
In and out for the Cardinal. And the Sun Devils trying to build on their lead.
Stanford's getting open looks. They just aren't hitting them right now. Shooting 13% from the three-point line.
Sosa sets the screen for Brown. Erie often flashing in front of Journey Thompson. You see her right now. Eyes are so big, trying to go back to her, and good defense by the Sun Devils.
Sun Devils are packing the paint. Three players were packing in the paint when the Erie often got that ball.
Sosa off the mark.
Good job getting back in transition by Arizona State.
Barty in, Erie often. Boy, I am impressed by the Sun Devils rebounding, both on both sides of the floor. We talked with Coach Adair. She said we've got to rebound. We're undersized. Everybody's got to crash. And shot selection off for the Sun Devils as Brown goes out of bounds. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Natasha Adair, the fiery second-year coach for the Arizona State Sun Devils, she said on any given day, they had the double overtime win against Washington, and said that really gave us a lot of confidence that we, on any given day, can beat anyone.
We've seen from Arizona State all season long continued improvement.
How about a little give and go?
Ball and body movement for Stanford is key. They have not been able to get into their offensive flow, just shooting 33% from the floor.
And right back is Arizona State Journey Thompson. Wait, don't get back on your heels. The Sun Devils will strike in a heartbeat. Cardinal will play for the last shot. Bascana with the basketball. Bascana has it blocked. Here comes Arizona State, and no shot.
So we're seeing some great passing from Stanford. Their backdoor game is so fun to watch when they're in their offensive flow. It's a 15-13 Arizona State lead, but a nice backdoor pass to Elena Bogdana. That was followed up by a nice little dump off. Arizona State up two as we head to the second quarter.
Here is today's simple eat clean and get results moment. It comes courtesy of Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink does so much for the Stanford Cardinal team. Just having her presence back on the floor offensively, setting screens. She has so much gravity. Defenders have to pay attention to her when she gets the ball. She's done a nice job of sharing the ball when she catches it. And then defensively, so much fun to watch. One of the most dominant defenders that we've seen in the Pac-12 conference in years.
Angela, but she has just one shot in this first quarter. What does the Cardinal need to do to get her more involved in the offense?
That first quarter was all about the lack of offensive execution from Stanford. They had 5 turnovers, several of them unforced turnovers, which eliminated the opportunity for them to get any good attempts up at the rim. Arizona State had 4 points off of those turnovers. Expect both teams, neither team late in that first quarter did a good job of executing out in their half-court offense, and neither team was getting out in transition.
Arizona State has the basketball. They went toe-to-toe in the paint with the Cardinal in the first quarter, 8 points apiece. Simmons has a block, second block for Cameron Brink.
There's that presence being felt immediately from Cameron Brink.
Thompson tips it out of bounds.
Well, defense converting to offense. Cameron Brink does a nice job of coming over a help side that easily could have been a little bit of a foul on the body, but that started their transition offense.
Brink offensively, and she is fouled.
Stanford simply can't get a couple of these layups to go early on in the first quarter, but getting yourself to the free throw line, maybe seeing the ball go through the rim will be something that gets them going a little bit. They're not shooting the ball from the perimeter very well at this point.
Sousa picks up her first team foul. You think during that timeout, Tara was like, okay, Cameron, you have the size advantage, typical, but start looking for your shot more and draw the foul.
I think one of the things that Tara was talking about in that timeout is relax. We're not going to win this game in one possession or just in the first quarter. Let's get back to what we do well from Stanford. Let's take care of the ball. Let's execute offensively, set good screens, box out, get second chance opportunities. So let's get back to what they do well.
Ogden, the runner, uses the glass.
Impressive move by the freshman Courtney Ogden. Going left, she used a nice hesitation to get her defender to pause for a second, and that gave her the space and time to get to the rim. Beautiful finish.
Stanford trying to get points from their entire bench. His jump is going to get whistled for a pushing foul.
And Stanford has a lot of depth. Freshman Courtney Ogden coming off the bench. Nice screen by Irioffen. Rolls into the defender, which created an open lane. Chris tried to come over for help, but was just a little bit late, and Ogden was able to finish with her length. And yeah, Sousa called there for the offensive foul on that screen. It looked like she was a little bit too aggressive, spun into that screen, did not allow Ogden the space to get over the screen.
And a quick exit for Sousa. That's her second personal foul. Khadija Toure, and she had a fantastic game against Cal. 10 points, double figures coming off the bench, and she just looked fantastic. We thought she might even get the start today.
Toure did a really nice job. Again, Mallory Miller, Khadija Toure, a lot of these players that don't get a lot of playing time coming in against Stanford's Twin Towers and expected to play some big minutes.
Irioffen kicks it back out to jump. Got it!
That's that beautiful triangle play. A nice job dumping the ball inside the Irioffen. Really patient. Got doubled quickly and kicked it right back outside. The excellent offensive execution from Stanford.
Crisp. Irioffen with the rebound.
Stanford's post players doing a nice job of running the floor. Brink had low block position by running the floor.
Brink gets a hand on it, kicks it back out. They'll reset the offense. Brink.
Starting to see Stanford execute much better offensively here in the second quarter. Right here, they're in a little bit of a triangle format. They get the ball inside the Irioffen. The double comes over with Brown helping off of the Hannah jump. You don't want to help off of the corner in general. You certainly don't want to help off a Hannah jump, but that simple, quick attempt to double left Hannah jump wide open for a three-point shot.
So Toure picks up the personal foul against Brink. She now comes out on the heels of Sousa. Sandra Magolico comes in for the Sun Devils.
Foul trouble causing the Sun Devils to have to go deep into their bench. Coach Adair wants them to be able to be aggressive, but to try to stay out of foul trouble, not too overly aggressive.
A 5-point lead now for the Stanford Cardinal, as we've seen glimpses where the Sun Devils are just trying to find that offensive flow.
Nice help.
They go baseline. Brown gets it done.
Nice help by Kiki Irioffen, but a better move, a nice Euro step by Jalen Brown. You can see how talented Jalen Brown is and her ability off the dribble to score in a variety of ways.
Brink tries to go up and under. One person that caught the eye of Tara Vanderveer was Brown. She said, I got to go watch game tape. I got to check her out, find a way to defend her.
Jalen Brown, the transfer from Louisville, didn't play a lot and didn't score a lot at Louisville, but she is demonstrating that she is a prolific scorer and the ability to be a nice piece for this Arizona State team moving forward.
This is Brown with the shot clock on 6. Brown in traffic, kicks it out. And Brink wins the rebounds.
Nice pass to Magolico, had an opportunity, may have rushed that shot a little bit, but two shot blockers were looming, and I don't blame her for rushing that shot.
Ogden, 12-footer.
Jaylen Brown has been a really nice scorer for Arizona State. Watch as she gets the ball on the perimeter, attacks the rim. Nice Euro step to get by the defender. And then Stanford, their post players, not only are they great shot blockers, but they're mobile bigs, the ability to move their feet and keep the offensive player in front of them. Both Irioffen and Brink closing that lane off for Brown.
Brown has just exploded on the offensive end. Go backdoor to Crisp, and she is fouled with the reach in.
Nice backdoor cut by Chris. Caught Hannah jump a little bit, staring at the ball, and didn't see the player she was guarding.
Second personal number 33, Hannah Jump. Second team foul.
Hannah Jump picks up her second personal foul. Agara checks in for the Stanford Cardinals. Ogden checks out.
When Antara elects to keep Hannah Jump on the floor, Hannah Jump's gravity, because of her potency at the three-point line, is a key for the Stanford offense. Again, Brink got the rebound there, but she didn't box out. I think Arizona State is crashing, as you said earlier, Tracy. They need to do a better job than Cardinal does of boxing out.
Contact and foul. Cameron Brink is back.
An area where Cameron Brink has improved is the physicality. But she's able to attack the paint and finish with contact this year in a way that we hadn't seen a lot of previously. She's worked a lot in her offseason, not just on her post moves, but on her body, and it was on display right there.
Magaliko picked up her first personal foul. Brink on again, the dish inside. How about the assist from Cameron Brink to her teammate Agara?
Cameron Brink, she looks up at the sky. You can tell she's exhausted, but not just a shot blocker, not just a solid post player. A nice dime to her Stanford teammate there. Crowd is pretty excited as Cameron Brink is back on the floor. Nice crashing the boards and hustle play by Stanford, and Cameron Brink with a nice dime. Stanford's up 24-17.
Regular season game for Stanford as they are looking to clinch yet again for the Pac-12 regular season title. They've got 26 of them so far.
One of the things that's been so impressive about this run Tara Vanderveer has had, particularly at Stanford, is the sustained excellence. It is really difficult to win on an annual basis, but over 26, 27 years to be able to play at the level, the number of elite athletes that have come to Stanford and been able to be part of championship programs, it's been a blessing, and I know a lot of my colleagues and I just really appreciate what Tara allowed us to be part of.
The ability to coach the multi-generational athletes, that I think takes an adaptability that really shows the skill set of Tara Vanderveer.
It's understated. We don't talk about that enough. The fact that Tara was in her mid to early 30s when she first won a championship, and now she's dealing with a completely different generation of student athletes and doing a great job of it.
It was 1985 when Tara Vanderveer took the job here at Stanford. Different kind of athlete in 2024. Brown with the shot clock at 4, has it blocked by Cameron Brink, her third.
Phenomenal on-ball defense by Harriel, and she had a nice help by Cameron Brink. This on-ball defense is fantastic, and Brink comes over to just give her a little bit of extra support.
Shot clock at 3 for the Sun Devils. They've got to make some quick decisions here. Thompson.
Stanford still being judicious, not getting out in transition a lot here in the first half.
Brink is triple teamed, and she's got her teammate wide open, and her teammate is going to make him play. That's Ariel.
So impressed with that. Nice job by Brink kicking out for the open shooter. It looks like we got an injured player right here in Journey Thompson. Brink is triple teamed and quickly kicks it out, reverses the ball to the opposite wing. That is not an easy pass to make, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent pass by Brink, passing it to Harriel. And one of the things Coach Vanderveer told us about Harriel being in that lineup, she spaces the floor. She's an excellent three-point shooter, and that gives Stanford much more floor spacing as well.
Sun Devils trying to eat into the largest lead yet for the Cardinal.
There you see Cameron Brink again, a little over overly aggressive there. I don't know if she needed to come to try to get that steal. Her second foul, and Tara's going to take her out right away. They don't want to get her to get her third foul early on in this first half.
Iriafen comes back in. Brink is out with her second personal foul. This is an opportunity for the Sun Devils.
When you're for the Sun Devils, you're like, okay, Brink goes out, and Iriafen, who's averaging 18 points and 12 rebounds, comes in. That's not much of a break at all.
Remember, Brink did not play at all on Friday. She was out, and the Cardinal lost to Arizona 68-61. Spreading the floor and the basketball. Aguera with the rebound. Double teamed, and a jump ball.
Some good minutes off the bench from Nunu Aguera. Very similar to Brink. She was doubled on the low block, did a nice job of kicking it off to the opposite wing for a wide open three-point shot by Harriel, and then stepped with it, tipped the ball, and got herself an offensive board. You love to see that hustle. Well, Simmons, Brown, and Aguera hustling. She got hit in the nose there on that ball, but great hustle by all three players.
Stanford on a 9-0 run right now. Cam Brink on the bench with 2 personal fouls. The Sun Devils looking for some offense. Wide open look, and taking advantage of that from the top of the key is Khadija Toure.
The Sun Devils post players have done a nice job all weekend long of taking what they get at that high post jumper, and Khadija Toure did the same thing right there.
Iriafen says, okay, I got you. Good thought. We still have 22 seconds on the shot clock.
22 seconds, Tracy. One of the things that Stanford has been able to do, they are such a different team when that three-point shot is going for them.
Weak side rebound, and everybody now contributing for Stanford. Aguera.
And that was just a mismatch on the low block. Aguera simply was too tough to box out for Jalen Brown.
They are really giving the outside shot to Arizona State. I mean, look at the sag defense right now for Stanford. Crisp.
As you said, Stanford was sagging off, protecting the paint, but Crisp with a nice floater over a bigger player. Quick double.
Harriel, got it!
Harriel shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. Nice patience right there. Again, Arizona State is coming with a quick double on any of the post players, and if Stanford remains patient, they're going to get open looks.
The redshirt sophomore out of Sacramento, California, Janiyah Harriel. Toure strong to the hole and loses a handle. Right idea.
Really good idea, putting the ball on the floor. She actually got Iriafen up off of her feet. Could have been a foul if she just was able to maintain control of the ball. But a good idea by Khadija Toure.
That time down the court, Iriafen going to Aguera saying, keep your eyes open for me as I flash. Ogden back in, has it stolen.
A little bit too much traffic to be able to go behind the back for Ogden. Arizona State doing a nice job of denying the outlet pass.
Some physicality right in front of the officials, and the fans do not like it here at the Farm.
I like the officials letting them play through this contact. This is what they're going to expect in the NCAA tournament.
Aguera, she is fouled.
So this game is physical. Arizona State's doing a nice job of being really aggressive in their traps. See Journey Thompson come in. Jaden Simmons as well. The crowd didn't like it. Kiki Uriafen didn't like it, but I appreciate the officials letting both of these teams play. This is what Stanford is going to have to expect down the line in the NCAA tournament when they're playing these SEC teams or ACC teams.
All right, Brown picks up her second personal foul, fifth team foul. This is a chance for the Stanford Cardinal. They're looking to at least clinch a tie for the Pac-12 championship, regular season championship, now with the loss to Arizona. Depends on what the other teams in the Pac do today, but really, as they say, then they go on the road to Oregon, and they're trying to be able to handle the journey of exactly what is their fate. Certainly looking to try and get the highest seed. You see a lot of articles which come out and say, well, they've collapsed now that they've lost to Arizona, and they're not worried. They're going to go put matters into their own hands as you look at the standings here in the Pac-12.
One of the things I was impressed with in talking to Tara at practice on Thursday was ask her about this weekend's games, what they're looking to do, the tournament, and she's like, Angela, we're focused on ourselves. Like, we just continue to focus on ourselves, and that's what matters. And the Pac-12 conference is a gauntlet. There's so many teams that are playing particularly well with some top-level players.
So we've got a break in the action, so the officials can look at the shoving. They came over to you, Angela.
Yeah, there's a coach's review. Arizona State was looking. They thought that there was a little bit of a contact on that last play, so they called a coach's review. The officials are going over, taking a look at the film to see if there was a little bit of excessive contact.
This is a Whole Foods Market official review, and we will find out exactly what is called as we take a look. It is literally pushing right in front of us as you take a look at the reach in.
I think the one play they may look at is Kiki Uriafen with that left elbow. Looks like she had a left elbow to Journey Thompson's chin. That may be something that they take a look at and say is unnecessary contact.
A lot of coaches talking about how more physical the Pac-12 has gotten over the years, and we're seeing it right in front of us.
It doesn't rise to anything as an intentional foul or anything, so just gonna shoot the second time challenge.
So the officials did a great job taking a look at that review, came over and let us know that that play did not rise to the level they thought it was an intentional foul by Uriafen. They're just going to play the play out. 2 free throws by Nunu Agara here at the free throw line, and Arizona State will be charged with that a timeout for the review.
Charles Gonzalez came over to speak with us. He is joined by Tiffany Bird and Kenneth Nash as Stanford, their last regular season home game before they go on the road to take on Oregon, and Oregon State looking to at least clinch a tie for the regular season Pac-12 title. And they've got to get through the physicality of Arizona State after losing to Arizona on Friday.
Well, Tracy, it's been really interesting to see the ebb and the flow of the narrative around Stanford all season long. At the beginning of the season, there weren't a lot of expectations because they did lose some players to the transfer portal or to graduation. And then the early success of the Stanford experience started to heighten the expectations, as we expect around here on the farm. They're, again, one of those teams that is deadly once they get into the tournament because they don't beat themselves unless they turn it over like they did against Arizona the other day. But they execute at a high level. The coaching staff is one of the best of all time. They get their players ready. And so I expect them, as well as several other Pac-12 teams, to do well, not only in the Pac-12 tournament, but in the NCAA tournament as well.
Agara gets 2. It's a 36-21 lead for Stanford. Under a minute and a half to go here in the first half.
Stanford's defense has done a great job here in the second quarter of cutting off those driving lanes, holding Arizona State to 1 shot.
And definitely boards. They are working the boards. Stanford out-rebounding Arizona, Arizona State 26-14 right now.
Well, Stanford has a size advantage, but Arizona State has been hustling. If Stanford doesn't box them out, Arizona State has a chance to get those boards.
A great look on the left side. And Thompson gets the rebound. Looks like it's going to be a reach-in against the Cardinal.
First person on number 21, Brooke Dimitri. 4th team foul.
Brooke Dimitri gets her first personal foul, 4th team foul. Under a minute minute to go. Arizona State trying to solve their offensive woes. They've gone quiet here in the second quarter. It's been Crisp who's been able to find some offense. No baseline going there. Block, follow-up, and a great job by Torre.
Great job staying with the play by Arizona State. Another block by the Stanford Bigs, but Arizona State continues to stay with the play.
Stanford third in the Pac-12 in blocks with just over 5. They've got and a pushing foul away from the ball.
First personal number 3, Nunu Aguirre. 15 foul.
Nunu Aguirre giving it back a little bit. 15 foul. 36-23, 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Again, a patient offense for the Sun Devils. Brown kick out to Crisp. Crisp backstep has it blocked. And that has been the epitome of the Cardinals. 7 blocks in just the first half for Stanford, as they've got a commanding halftime lead. Angela, phenomenal job, 36-23.
Well, one of the catalysts for Stanford being able to get into the offense system is their defensive execution.
Stanford head coach Tara Vanderveer with us. Tara, what do you like out of that first half?
Well, you know, I think without Talana, Janiah Harrell stepped up really big for us, making some shots, running offense. Obviously, it's great having Cam in there. You know, Sheila scoring. You know, different people making plays for us. But overall, I just think we have to be much more aggressive defensively, not giving them some of the easy shots that they're getting, and get out and really go on offense.
Tara, what is going to be one of the key things you talk to your team about at halftime?
I think moving the ball, and you know, we got people just start dribbling for no reason, moving the ball, running offense, letting the game come to them a little bit better. You know, we have some young people out there who just kind of hyperventilate and think they got to, you know, get their shot right away. But you know, we got Cam in there, give the ball to Cam. You got Kiki in there, give the ball to Kiki. Run offense, get the ball inside, and be more aggressive on defense.
Tara, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
When the all-time winningest basketball coach in college talks, you listen. She's got some words of wisdom at halftime. We are at halftime at the Farm. Stanford leading Arizona State 36-23.
Did a nice job in that starting lineup. Got off to an early start with a nice turnaround, and then got into foul trouble.
And Mallory Miller does go to work right away for Arizona State, as she is just gets hot early.
Well, Arizona State needed a post presence, and Mallory Miller provided that. A nice turnaround over Kiki Iriafen. And then Arizona State did a nice job in their offense. The pick and roll game with Trana Crisp, and then Jalen Brown, Ice as they like to call her, getting to the rim with a nice Euro step. Then Stanford got out in transition. I think one of the things that was key for Stanford was their offensive execution. Their offensive execution led to 9 assists on 13 field goals made. They had great ball movement, great player movement, and the post players did a great job getting the ball in and out. If they were one-on-one on the low block, they went ahead and took it to the rim. If they were doubled or triple teamed, they were able to kick it out to open shooters, which got their shooters going. Watch this play by Cameron Brink. She went early, one defender in Magalico, and you can't stop Cameron Brink one-on-one on that low block.
Here's a look at the Walt Disney World Resort first half stats. How about those rebounds for the Cardinal?
Yeah, plus 10 from the rebounds. They've done a nice job boxing out on the defensive end. And offensively, Iriafen and Dimitri have been crashing the boards. And then assists, again, 9 assists on 13 field goals made. They're sharing the ball, and that is when Stanford is at their
36-23, Cardinal lead as we're ready to start the third quarter. Moments ago, we caught up with Arizona State head coach, Natasha Adair. Coach Adair, you came out to offensive jump and had the Cardinal on their heels. What are you going to adjustments in the third quarter?
I think the biggest thing is those second chance opportunities. You know, we did a really good job in that first quarter trying to limit them to one shot. But again, you know, we cannot activate them on those second chance opportunities. And I just thought, too, in the second quarter, we rushed on offense. When we were poised and we opened the floor and we turned the ball 3 and 4 times, we were able to get what we were looking for. So for us right now in the third, we got to get off to a good start, limit second chance opportunities, and have a little bit more poise on offense.
Coach, offensively, Stanford is packing the paint and not letting your guards turn the corner.
Correct.
What are some things that we can look to for you doing in the second half?
Well, we told them that the shot is going to be in the mid-range. You know, we're not going to get all the way to the rim. They average 5-6 blocks a game, and we don't want to test them there, but we can, and then bring them up. If they bring them up, then we can share the ball one more. But the shots for us will be in the mid-range today.
Coach Adair, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Arizona State will give you fits if they can get in that flow offensively. They will inbound the basketball here in the third quarter.
Well, and look for them not only on the offensive end, but defensively to focus on trying to create more turnovers. When Stanford got out to that early deficit, it was because Arizona State was first forcing turnovers.
They try to go inside again. Coach Adair wants to see, there's a block by Brink, be more aggressive offensively. It's tough to do when you're facing Cameron Brink.
And talking about tough, that is a really difficult block. Closing out and blocking the shot at the height of the jumper. Jaylen Brown's range is pretty high, so that was a great block by Cameron Brink.
Offensively, both teams come out aggressive moves to the basket, neither successful. Again, Stanford trying to win the Pac-12 regular season title. They're 27th. We took a look at the scoreboard during halftime, and it is anybody's ball game. Typical in the Pac-12, as we've seen so far, typically atypical. And Arizona State trying to play spoiler, as Arizona did on Friday against Stanford.
Well, if the Arizona game is any indication, Arizona State should continue to just chip away at this lead. It's only a 13-point lead. And they're going to have to get better shots in order to chip away at this lead.
Buscana had Brink, and Brink just kind of looks up, wants it again. Brink goes baseline. She loses a handle. Here comes Miller.
It was a good idea by Brink. She was attacking Thompson's leg that was up. Thompson had her right leg up, and Brink attacked that off the dribble, just couldn't finish it.
Miller, like that shot for her. She is deadly from downtown.
Miller is very capable of hitting that shot, and you have to take the shot. It's going to open up the floor, even if you don't make it.
Iriafen is fouled, and she will go to the line.
See, so congested in the paint for Stanford. Arizona State is doubling and tripling off of perimeter shooters, and Stanford's doing a nice job of sharing the ball.
Journey Thompson picks up her second personal foul. Coach Adair looks down the bench, and she's like, oh, I don't have a lot of healthy players. Of course, when we saw her at the early Pac-12 press conference in October, she's like, everybody's healthy. We're good. And, oh, by the way, Ty Skinner is injured, and Maggie Basilink is injured, and then they get hit with the injury bug, and so she's got a short bench.
One of the things that has created is opportunities. There's a lot of young players. This is a really young ball club, the Arizona State Sun Devils, giving them a chance to get quality minutes against high-quality competition. They're going to be better off for it in the long run.
Simmons asking for the basketball. She has it now for Arizona State.
A smothering defensive effort by Stanford.
Goes up against Cameron Brink, and we've got a foul called against Stanford.
Nice job by Jaden Simmons. The thing that she did, it was subtle, but the best thing to do against a shot blocker is to get into their body. And she got into Cameron Brink's body where Brink wasn't able to have space to block that shot.
Jaden Simmons in the line, shooting 2.
Harriel picks up her second personal foul. We thought for a second that might be on Cameron Brink. It was not. As Simmons goes to the line, you can see Brink looking back. Coach, gonna pull me, or I'm gonna stay in. Looks like she's gonna stay in for a bit.
Well, she just looks exhausted. I can't imagine she's been able to eat a lot of food. It's great to see her out here battling with her teammates.
She was in practice yesterday. Full court pressure now from the Sun Devils.
Just a little token full court pressure.
And a collision, and Cameron Brink goes and looks like she got the wind knocked out of her right in front of us.
An extremely aggressive trap right there by Arizona State. On the pass, Brink dribbled into the corner, which you don't want to do right here. at the half-court line, and then Brown just got a little bit too aggressive right there. Looks like she got Brink in the abdomen
And
for her third foul.
Yep, and that could spell trouble for the Sun Devils. Brown has been a leader in scoring and has just been the go-to when they need a quick offensive hit. Ball is again out of bounds. Last three games of the regular season in the Pac-12, and we mean it because this is the dispersion of the Pac-12 with realignment, and this will be the last regular season game in the Pac-12 for the Stanford Cardinal. It's also Senior Day, where they'll honor Hannah Jump and Cameron Brink.
Tracy, I thought I was getting sentimental by being able to call a game at Maples, but now thinking it might be the last Pac-12 game here at Maples. Sad to see, but there's been a lot of amazing moments in this facility in the Pac-12 and Pac-10 and Pac-8 play.
We were talking to Tara Vanderveer and said, is Cameron Brink one of the top 10 players that has ever played in a Stanford uniform? And she said, without a doubt. And then she went on to rattle 20 other great Stanford players, from Jennifer Azzi to Nneka Ogwumike.
Nice open look by Hannah Jump. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why people want to come to play at Stanford is because the long line of phenomenal student athletes that have played here.
Brown trying to thread a needle, kicks it out to Crisp. Sun Devils have gone cold.
Nice box out by Irioffen and Hannah Jump right there, just holding Arizona State to one shot.
Brink, she is blocked by Miller. And backcourt violation.
Nice shot by Miller, returning the favor. Brink was doubled, and Miller went straight up on that shot. Brink probably could, nice dribble, drop step, and try to get a little bit better position for that low block move. But you see what Miller brings to the table, versatile big.
Just a freshman. She had 11 points against Cal on Friday. And what a showing by her. Brown from downtown.
See what Brown's versatility is. Streaky three-point shooter. Once he gets going from three, it opens up her ability to put the ball on the floor.
They wanted a traveling call, but they didn't get it. So a whistle against Journey Thompson.
Nice job by Stanford to getting the ball out of the rim on that three-point make and kicking it right out in transition. They beat Arizona State down the floor.
Thompson, third personal foul. Brink doesn't get the roll. Miller with the rebound. I like Miller, the freshman. She's the workhorse right now.
It really stood out to us when Coach Adair talked about how fearless she is and how impressed. You talk to anyone with Arizona State and they talk about they already know her.
Journey Thompson took a journey. That was a couple of steps wide open in the center lane for the Sun Devil.
Arizona State continuing to try to be really aggressive on ball, not letting the perimeter players have a clean look of kicking it into the post players on a low block. And then as soon as that post player gets the ball, quick double teams are coming over.
Well, Journey Thompson, after getting the offense, then picks up her fourth personal foul, so she is out of the game. Khadijah Toure in, and Cameron Brink goes to work inside.
Nice show and go by Cameron Brink. The defender went with that ball fake, and Brink spun baseline, a beautiful move, again demonstrating how versatile and talented she has a big, and one of the reasons she could be one of the top 10 players to ever play in a Cardinal uniform.
Crisp makes it an 8-point ball game.
Quick double.
Brink.
How many of those little bunnies has Stanford missed right at the rim? Cameron Brink showing her versatility, her footwork, and her hands on the low block. High quality. Watch as she gets the ball, shows it to Hannah Jump, and the defenders have to respect Hannah Jump coming off of that out of bounds play for three, and Brink the spinning baseline.
Cameron Brink, a 92% free throw shooter. And you could see she's still trying to get her strength back after being out with the flu. Just the second game she missed was that game against Arizona. She makes 1 of 2. Meanwhile, Miller picked up her third personal foul. Keep an eye on the foul situation for the Sun Devils. The freshman, guarded by the junior, tries to do a little give and go to Simmons, knocked out of bounds.
See the difference in the post defense by Stanford and Arizona State. Stanford is pushing Arizona State's post players well off the low block and not giving them that low block position to make easy drop step layup opportunities.
Sun Devils very much in this game. Brown, Brink tips it out of bounds.
And Brown does a nice job continuing to attack off the dribble. As soon as you get past one defender, here comes Brink for help side, but nice aggressive attack.
Stanford has 9 blocks in this game. Their season high is 10. And what they talked about is Cameron Brink's defense against Arizona. Without her, they were talking about how difficult it was. You can see the difference she makes against Arizona State.
Well, you think about whether it's the WNBA, whether it's the NBA or men's or women's college basketball, when you have a shot blocker as a perimeter defender, that's your best friend. You can get much more aggressive on ball with a shot blocker. Cameron Brink making an impact. 41-32, Stanford's up.
41-32, Stanford leading Arizona State here in the third. Passions are arising here in the third as we see some jawboning back and forth.
You gotta love the level of competition from both of these teams. There's a little jawing back and forth between Cameron Brink and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown on a previous play where she hit a three-point shot said a couple things to the Stanford defenders, but the officials checked it out and they said it was nothing more than the officials just wanted to make sure to cool down what could potentially escalate to something more.
Yeah, you can see Cameron Brink just giving it right back as she is kind of trying to own the floor. You think she doesn't want this win today, the final regular season game on the home floor?
Yeah, you can tell that this means a lot to Cameron Brink. And one of the things that I think is surprising, you look at her physical stature and you don't think that she's got a little edge to her, but Cameron Brink is a fierce competitor and she's gonna bring that edge. We've seen it since she was a freshman at some of the biggest moments in the Final Four where she's going to compete, and she's going to compete hard.
And depending upon what Cameron Brink does, this could be her last regular season game. She has the option to come back for another year. In the draft, they have her picked 1 or 2. Caitlin Clark perhaps going 1 from Iowa. Brink, they have projected to go to the LA Sparks. But again, all of that is TBD, as at least Cameron Brink wants to make the most of today here at the farm on Senior Day.
You can tell Cameron is having a lot of fun on this particular roster, being the leader of this team. She and Kiki Uriafen have great chemistry at that Twin Towers.
Watch out for Khadijah Toure. If she gets hot for the Sun Devils, it is going to be a tight ball game as she gets the quick hitter out of the timeout. Brink has Miller on her back, and they cannot get the entry pass to Cameron Brink.
Arizona State is coming over to double before they even pass the ball.
Brown with the rebound. Here comes Crisp wanting to run. Now they've stepped up to guard Crisp, kind of respecting that range that she's got from the outside.
It's a nice unselfish play. Brown looked like she had a pull-up jumper opportunity to pass it to the open Mallory Miller.
Brink,
Nice.
Good dish from the outside.
Tough to box out on those long rebounds. Good job by Uriafen staying active on the offensive glass. Stanford continues to do a nice job with in and out. Their in and out game is precise.
Arizona State, the youth movement, due to injuries, they've got 4 underclassmen in their starting lineup. Miller, the freshman from downtown.
You can see her teammates' reaction. Mallory Miller, a versatile player, shot that ball with a lot of confidence.
I keep getting that ball to Miller and Toure. We saw them get hot against Cal, and it was like, wow, Miller again.
Might have been a little bit outside of her range. Feeling good. You got to take a heat check. But Mallory Miller, the freshman, playing with a lot of confidence and keeping Arizona State in this ball game. Nice kick out by Jaylen Brown. Miller with the wide open 3. 6-point ball game on the farm.
Around the Pac-12, take a look at today's scoreboard.
The two scores that stand out, particularly if you're watching the Stanford game, the Oregon State-Washington, Washington up 11, Ella Dean and Delia Daniels playing really well, 30 of the 44 Washington Huskies points. And then for that Utah-USC game, Utah's done a nice job defensively, holding Juju Watkins to 13 points late in the third quarter.
If you are scoreboard watching in the Pac-12 for women's basketball, you've literally got to tune in every quarter because it changes on any given moment.
Keep refreshing that screen because the buckets are coming and they're coming quickly.
All-time winningest coach Tara Vanderveer has been phenomenal, looking to capture the 27th Pac-12 regular season title. You had mentioned during the break, Angela, that Arizona State doing exactly what Arizona did, is they're keeping Stanford close until they strike.
Yeah, Arizona State's done a nice job defensively. Stanford only has 7 points here in the third quarter. But that is the one thing that Coach Adair talked about at halftime. You have to limit their second chance opportunities. You have to box out. That was a great defensive possession, but they didn't finish it up with a box out.
Aguera working the boards. One and done for the Sun Devils. Brown just could not find her rhythm as they're getting her some open looks.
Well, watch Stanford's demeanor here. Like, as the game remains close, do they start to think back to what happened against Arizona and get tight and a little bit nervous?
Iriafen, that is the work ethic that everyone is talking about. Why she has shown so much improvement over the years, perhaps one of the most improved players in the country.
And with the size that Stanford has, their ability to have that rebounding differential, points in the paint, +4 in the points in the paint differential, Kiki Iriafen is the key to that.
18 second chance points for the Stanford Cardinal. Brown again goes one-on-one, loses the battle again.
What Arizona State has done a nice job on the initial possession of defending Stanford. Stanford has not had a lot of good looks. They're not shooting a great percentage here in the third quarter. But that second chance, getting easy layups off of offensive rebounds, is killing Arizona State.
Dimitri, that's the hustle that the Cardinal love to see.
Another O board.
Iriafen draws contact. And here comes Brown. Toure. Where there is no offensive glass going on for the Sun Devils right now.
Well, sometimes when you take those early shots, your teammates don't have a chance to get set and go crash the boards. And Britt Dimitri demonstrating exactly what she did on Friday night against Arizona. Versatile post player, spaces the floor with her three-point shooting ability.
And you feel some of the air coming out of the Sun Devils with that Dimitri long-distance connection, because Crisp tries to respond.
Stanford on a 7-0 run, most of it due to their ability to get to the offensive glass. Yet another offensive rebound.
And a jump wants it again. The graduate student.
Feel like Oprah again, and you get an offensive rebound, and you get an offensive rebound, and then a wide open three.
Crisp has time. A three-pointer would make it a 10-point game going into the fourth. Crisp looking for the screen, gets it from Miller. Toure, got it. And that will do it, and we have a 10-point ball game headed into the fourth quarter. They're
Threes
answering
follow
each
threes
other.
is something that Tara always talked about. Brooke Dimitri with a wide open three to get Stanford's offense going off of those offensive rebounds. Nice penetration by Harriel and ball reversal by Jump. And then Khadija Toure with a wide open three at the buzzer. 10-point ball game heading into the fourth quarter.
Here's the Liberty Mutual Insurance most needed play.
Sign of a great player is the ability to read and react. Right there, Hannah Jump coming off the screen for out-of-bounds play. The defenders went to Jump this time after she hit that big three-point shot in the first half, and Jump had a nice opportunity for a spin layup on the baseline. Great job reading and reacting, and that's exactly what Stanford's been doing this second half. They're reading and reacting to the shots that are going up and it's leading to 16 offensive rebounds. They're the first ones to move on the shot, and they're getting to the boards quicker than Arizona State is.
Angela, in that third quarter, though, the Sun Devils outscored Tara Vanderveer's Cardinals 17-14. Again, you've talked about shades of the game against Arizona, where Arizona got physical, hit some threes, and Cameron Brink goes right to work here in this game, make sure it doesn't happen.
Tara drew up a great play coming out of that timeout. Great job actually eliminating any help side. So Cameron Brink was one-on-one on the low block with no help side. Great pass to get her an easy layup.
Arizona State trying to get into their offense quicker. You can see they're really taking a lot of time off the clock. Mallory, give and go. Little bump inside, count it, and a foul. Great ball movement, and Simmons finishes for the Sun Devils.
Nice ball movement. Arizona State's spacing was much better in that possession, allowing them to get the ball to the high post. A great backdoor cut on this give and go by Jaden Simmons and Mallory Miller, again showing how talented she is in high basketball IQ. Great finish with contact.
Ogden picks up her second personal foul. So Simmons will go to the line.
For both of these teams, we see how valuable it is to have floor spacing. Three-point shooting really helps to open up the floor and allows cutters to get backdoor, folks to be able to get the ball, put it on the floor and attack the paint.
Brink one-on-one against Sosa. Jump! Brink with the rebound. Brink with the putback.
Another sign of a great rebounder. As soon as the shot goes up, being able to read where that ball is going to come off. Brink did a great job of getting to the front of the rim for that long rebound.
3 of these Sun Devils are in the top 15 for minutes played, Jaden, Brown, and Crisp. So keep an eye on them in the fourth quarter to see just their stamina as this team has to continue to fight with the short bench. Miller wins that battle.
Miller with a smaller aerial on her, got the ball on the low block, was one-on-one against a smaller guard. It's barbecue chicken, as some people like to say.
Ogden tries to respond. Brink. Well, you can see the pushing between Sosa and Brink said, you know what, I'm just going to try and go underneath you and get fouled.
Yeah, Stanford continues to go to the offensive glass. Brink been doing a nice job, and she just was too tall on that possession. Sosa had position on that, tried to box her out, but Brink just was able to grab the ball over her.
Miller picks up her 4th personal foul, but she stays in the game as Brink goes to the charity stripe.
And Stanford has not shot the ball very well from the free throw line today. 60% from the free throw line. Cameron Brink usually shoots a little bit better.
Yeah, and they're an 80% free throw shooting team overall. Pushing foul against Hannah Jump as Jaden Simmons tries to go baseline. The 3rd personal for Jump. So again, watch the physicality in this fourth quarter. It is the tale of what happened in the game against Arizona. But of course, Cameron Brink did not play in that game. She is in this game. And Brown gets Ogden on the foul.
You can see how persistent Arizona State is off the dribble. They're not letting that initial defensive stop keep them from continuing to try to get to the rim.
3rd personal foul on Ogden. She'll come out. Boscana comes back in. Brown goes to the charity stripe. Brown, a 78.2 free throw shooter. Cuts into the lead. It's a 9-point ball game. Some more full court pressure against the Cardinal.
And Brown has not had a great game. She's 2 for 13 from the floor, but she can heat up any moment.
Tried for the turnover. Great ball distribution by Stanford. Brink. Boy, this is what they're so good at. Jump!
Ball and player movement on that play. That's exactly what Stanford wants to do. Space, floor spacing, and great shooters. Excellent unselfish play, passing up good shots to get great shots.
Brink as a passer is such a difference maker.
It feels that she's evolved as a passer as well, and it's such a hidden part of her game.
Ball blocked from behind by Simmons.
Stanford does a nice job on this press. Arizona is trying to trap at half court. Dirty Thompson goes for a steal, and Stanford makes them pay. On the backside, they had a 4-on-3, then a 3-on-2, leading to a wide open three-point shot by Hannah Jump, one of the best three-point shooters in Pac-12 conference history.
Very often has been on the bench as Brink goes to work.
And another job reading, reacting by Cameron Brink. The defense with Hannah Jump, honoring her coming off of that inbounds play that left Brink wide open as she put the ball on the floor.
Brink in double figures with 14 points now.
Brown does a really nice job using her body and getting into the defender with just like a little shoulder shiver to create space or to create that contact to get to the free throw line. Again, Arizona State, one of the better free throw shooting teams and teams at getting to the free throw line in the conference.
Bosgana picks up her first personal. Brink comes out. Virioffin comes back in. Brown at the free throw line. Brown had a career high 35 in the loss to Colorado. She has just been a phenomenal scorer. She had 16 points in the double overtime win against Washington. They need her to step it up offensively if they are going to play catch up here against the Cardinal.
And on any make, free throws or shots, they're able to get into this full court pressure.
Risky cross-court pass, but it's working. Again, Bosgana, Harriel. Yes!
Beautiful on-ball movement. Arizona State is doing a great job rotating, but it's tough to defend that in-and-out game that Stanford is putting on display in this ball game.
Can give them no room from the outside. They will make you pay. Dimitri looking the run. Dimitri, 15-footer. Miller with the rebounds. And now she's a distributor to Brown.
Stanford did not stop penetration, left an open shooter, and gave Brown space. Once she starts heating up, she's like the microwave. You don't want to give her a lot of space to get going.
At what point do you start thinking clock if you're Stanford and slow it down as the Sun Devils trying to play up-tempo? Well, there's no slowing down there.
That's a great call, Tracy. I think in that last possession where Dimitri dribbled full court and then took that pull-up jumper early on the shot clock, I think that they would have been better served at taking some time off the clock.
Simmons the runner and gets the roll.
Nice job curling off of that high post screen. And Arizona State, a lot of these players playing a lot of minutes and still battling. Nice backdoor cut.
Jump. Virioffin can't get it to go.
Beautiful backdoor cut, nice pocket pass, and yet another layup that Stanford post players had missed.
Brown trying to go baseline, and she is pushed. Bosgana picks up her second personal foul. 4:59 left to go in the fourth. Stanford on top. Many great All-Americans to walk the halls here in the Farm. She was the 2005 Pac-10 Freshman and Player of the Year. Amazing accomplishment for the former La Jolla Country Day graduate, and she has gone on to the WNBA. Made a great name for herself. Again, one of many talents under Tara Vanderveer.
Candace, and her nickname Ice, was such a fun player to watch. What she was able to do over a 4-year career here at Stanford and then on into the WNBA. Such a special player. And we go from Candace Ice to Jalen Brown Ice, named after George Gervin here at the free throw line.
Ice is both of them. It is a 10-point ball game.
Well, Tracy, aside from that second quarter where Stanford went out to a 23-8 scoring lead, Arizona State has won the first and the third quarters, and they've tied this fourth quarter.
Bosgana. Miller trying to battle Brink. Miller's got to be careful, and there's Virioffin.
an example of where size matters. Brink did a great job battling Miller for that ball, and a nice tip over to Iriafen.
Iriafen tips Miller, and they're going to whistle her for the foul. You just see the sync that Brink and Iriafen, they complement each other on and off the court. I mean, literally, they say they're each other's biggest fans, and they really push each other to improve as Iriafen picks up her first personal.
The chemistry between Iriafen and Brink is really special. You don't see a lot of programs outside of South Carolina playing two bigs at the same time for as many minutes as Stanford is doing, and that's a tribute to both Iriafen and Brink's versatility. They both have the ability to play on the low block as well as to space the floor out to the three-point line.
Miller has just been fantastic for Arizona State. The freshman has come to play. 11 points so far for Miller. And a pushing foul away. And that looks like it might be her 5th personal foul. She goes right to the bench and talks to Coach Adair, and she said, "You got to make a substitution."
You could tell that's a rookie right there. Usually the veteran players stay on the floor as long as possible,
Well,
and don't let
somebody else.
Yeah, like so if somebody else's foul, I don't want to come off the floor. But with Miller going to the bench with 5 fouls, Khadija Torrey coming off the bench has done a really nice job as well with 9 points on 4 or 6 from the floor.
So what will the Sun Devils do with now Miller on the bench? And it's a 12-point ball game, just over 4 minutes to go.
Another nice inbounds play by Stanford, getting the ball to Hannah Jump for an open jumper.
They're trying to get the ball to Brown. She's got 14 seconds on the shot clock to work. The
Nice
kick out. Torrey had a wide open shot. Thompson off Iriafen. It's going to stay with the Sun Devils. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
That was a nice kick out to Torrey. She did have a wide open 3. It was unselfish there, but you want to take those opportunities as you get them if you're Arizona State. The clock does matter.
Brown's going to take it. Brown from downtown.
With range. Jalen Brown, once she heats up, she's a streaky 3-point shooter, but once she heats up, she can light it up from all over the floor.
They're going to get Cameron Brink for pushing, and that's her 3rd personal.
Nice job rotating, getting the ball to Jalen Brown, a 35% 3-point shooter on the season. Shoots the ball with a lot of confidence. Once she gets her game going, she gets to the free throw line, able to get to the rim for some layups. It opens up her ability to space the floor from 3.
We have a 9-point ball game with just over 3 minutes to go. Brown trying to take it, blocked by Cameron Brink.
Would love to see a mid-range game, maybe a floater there, as opposed to trying to take it too deep.
Brink wants it back. That good dish, and there you see the partnership between she and Iriafen.
With ease, post players that can handle the ball, they can pass, great vision. Such a luxury to be able to have 2 of those players on the Stanford roster.
Sun Devils have to go to quick work. Thompson does it from the outside.
Journey Thompson continues to do a nice job from the high post, facing up and getting that shot off quickly.
Aguera has checked in. And clock is now the Cardinal friend. Brink. Aguera. And a reach-in foul is going to be called on Brown.
Well, again, Stanford with so much size on the floor with Aguera at the 3. Cameron Brink watching Jalen Brown drive to the basket. Brown got a little bit too deep. I would love to see her take a floater there. And then Cameron Brink and Kiki Iriafen continue to share the ball. Sharing is caring.
Iriafen from Brink.
I think we're going to have to keep seeing that. Iriafen from Brink, Brink from Iriafen. Just a beautiful display of post-partner play right there. So unselfish.
Folks, this is history. The last regular season ball game for the Stanford Cardinal as part of the Pac-12 conference. They go on the road to Oregon and Oregon State, and then the Pac-12 tournament in Las Vegas before the NCAA tournament. They are hoping to get a signature win under the all-time winningest coach in Tara Vanderveer.
Jaden Simmons in the line.
And if they can continue over the next 2 minutes to pull out this win, it's a nice win. People may go into it saying that they're playing Arizona State, but this was a nice win, bouncing back from a really tough loss that had to take a lot out of their tank on Friday.
And they're going to whistle up Cameron Brink for her 4th personal foul. It's going to be a pushing foul. And I'll tell you, she has been very vocal this game.
Well, you appreciate the activity and the aggressiveness, but Cameron Brink has to remember she has to stay on the floor. This is still a 10-point ball game, and you want to make sure she stays on the floor. That looked like it was unnecessary right there, just a little push or shove to Journey Thompson, sending Arizona State to the free throw line with the clock stopped, trying to get this to a single-digit deficit.
And Brink is still talking over at the bench, but you know, you got to admire her passion. It is the last regular season game potentially for her here as part of the Pac-12 Senior Day. Her godmother is here, and they want this win to get the regular season Pac-12 title.
And you love the competitive fire, and sometimes you need somebody on your roster to have that competitive fire, but you also want to be smart with it.
There's a little competitive fire. How about weak side from Aguera?
And this is textbook play by the post players from Stanford right here. Nice job by Kiki Iriafen. Sees the double team coming over from Jalen Brown, and immediately dumps it off to her post teammate. Nice job by the Stanford Cardinal. So unselfish.
Journey Thompson picks up her 5th personal foul. 2nd Sun Devil to foul out.
Well, a really nice game by Agar. She's come off the bench, done a great job of going to the offensive glass. 10 points on 4 of 5 shooting, 4 rebounds.
Sun Devils have to get in their offense quick if they're going to make a run at this. Crisp trying to get some distance. Brown over to Crisp. Crisp got it!
Nice assist by Jalen Brown. It was subtle, but she faked like she was going to come off the dribble going right, kicked it right back like a LeBron-like pass to her guard teammate, Jalen Brown, with a nice pass.
You got to admire Crisp. She is working both ends of the floor. Treyana Crisp, the sophomore, great upside for this Sun Devils squad, but she gets called for the pushing foul.
Well, Crisp has played great defense all game long. That's just her first foul. Nice job of moving her feet, playing great position defense.
Janiyah Harriel with 1 minute, 22 seconds left. We've got a 9-point ball game. Natasha Adair's teams are never out of it. They will keep you on your toes from the opening tip.
A nice floor game by Janiyah Harriel as well. Entered into the starting lineup today. 9 points, 3 of 7 from the three-point line, which is one of the keys that Coach Vanderveer talked to us about before this game, saying that Harriel was one of those players that can add to this floor spacing.
All right, final minute 20. Harriel wide open, yes!
4 of 8 from the floor is Janiyah Harriel. Excellent inbounds play. Stanford has done a great job executing their inbounds play, setting good screens, really unselfish, again, passing up good shots to get great shots.
And that is likely going to be the good night as Simmons tries to go around Iriafen, and Iriafen comes up with the basketball. And the Stanford Cardinal are inching closer to yet another Pac-12 regular season title. It's not done yet. They go on the road to the Oregon schools, but they've done the work they need to do here on the farm.
Well, it's nice to see in this closing lineup a couple players that are not their traditional starting lineup getting ample time at crucial points in this ballgame.
Jump ball situation. She just ran into a wall in Iriafen.
A great help side by Kiki Iriafen. Stanford's post players have done a nice job defensively of helping. And then you see the senior Hannah jump getting a nice ovation from this Maples Pavilion crowd as she heads to the bench.
She and Brink, the two seniors on the Cardinal on senior day. Crisp. And who else but Kiki Iriafen. Boy, she is fantastic and a fantastic future for the Cardinal.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch the post players, especially Kiki Iriafen. Big win for the Stanford Cardinal basketball team.
On senior day, the Stanford Cardinal win 81-67 over Arizona State, inching closer to yet another Pac-12 title. For Angela Taylor and our entire Pac-12 network crew, I'm Tracy Warren saying so long from Palo Alto, California, where the final, Stanford 81, Arizona State 67.
For the second meet in a row, Selena Harris was perfect on her vault.